Are you confused by terms like double-related relatives or once removed? Understanding these relationships is the first step in researching your ancestors and creating your family tree. Knowing how you're related to family members is one of the most important steps when tracing your ancestry. Whether you're trying to make sense of DNA matches or untangle the branches of your family tree, understanding cousin relationships is key. Today, we'll break down terms like cousins, first cousins, second cousins, and once removed in simple terms. We'll even explore what it means to be double related and half related. Greetings and welcome. I'm Carolyn A. from GettingToTheRoots.com, where I help African American families uncover their ancestry through proven research methods and DNA insights. Ready to discover your family story? Let's dive in. Before exploring cousin relationships, it's important to understand how generations work. Generations are the foundation of your family tree. They represent how far back your shared ancestors are, and help define how relatives are connected to you. Generations also determine cousin relationships. Grandparents, who are one generation back, connect you to your first cousins. Great-grandparents, 2 generations back, connect you to your second cousins. Now, let's explore what it means to be a cousin. What is the meaning of cousin? A cousin is someone who shares a common ancestor with you. This could be a grandparent, great-grandparent, or even further back. What is the meaning of first cousins? You and your first cousins share the same grandparents. For example, if your grandparents are Henry and Leona, then their children, your parent and your parent's siblings, are the next generation. The children of your parent and their siblings, you and your cousins, are part of the same generation, making you first cousins. When someone is in a different generation, we add removed to describe the relationship. A first cousin once removed means one of you is a generation above or below the other. For example, if your first cousins have children, their children are your first cousins once removed because they are one generation younger than you. If your parent has a first cousin, that person is your first cousin once removed because they are one generation older than you. Once you understand once removed, it's easy to build on that. Let's talk about what happens when there are 2 generations between you and your cousin, twice removed. When there are 2 generations between you and another person, they're your first cousins twice removed. For example, your first cousin's grandchild is your first cousin twice removed because there are 2 generations separating you. First cousins are closely related, but what about second cousins? Let's take a look at how this relationship works. Second cousins are members of the same generation who share the same great-grandparents but not the same grandparents. Their grandparents were siblings, making them part of the same family tree but from different branches. For example, your grandparents' siblings, your great-aunts and great-uncles, have children, your parents' first cousins. The children of those first cousins are your second cousins because you all share the same great-grandparents. Here's how it works. You, your parent, your grandparent, your great-grandparents, your direct line. Your second cousins are the children of your parents' first cousins. Now that we understand second cousins, let's revisit the idea of removed. What does it mean when your second cousin is once removed? For example, if your second cousin has children, those children are your second cousins once removed because they are one generation younger. If your parent has a second cousin, that person is your second cousin once removed because they are one generation older. So far, we've talked about full cousins. But what if you only share one grandparent with your cousin? That's what we call half cousins. Half cousins happen when you and another cousin share only one grandparent instead of 2. Here's an example. Imagine your grandfather got married twice. He had your parent with his first wife, your grandmother, and then had another child with his second wife. That other child would be your parent's half-sibling. When that half-sibling has children, those children are your half-cousins because you share only one grandparent instead of two. Half-cousins are unique, but double-related relatives take things a step further. Let's explore how some people can be connected through more than one family relationship. Double-related relatives occur when two families are connected through more than one relationship, creating closer genetic ties than usual. If two siblings from one family marry two siblings from another family, their children are double-related because they share all four grandparents instead of just two. Double-related relatives can also happen when cousins marry each other. In this case, their children inherit the same grandparents or great-grandparents from both sides of the family. This overlap makes them double-related, meaning they share more DNA than typical relatives. DNA tests may even show them as more closely related even though they are in different generations. Now that we've covered all these cousin relationships, you might wonder why this matters. Let's talk about why understanding these terms is so important for genealogy. Understanding how cousins are connected is an essential step in building your family tree. Although, this is a step that is often overlooked or missed, but understanding cousin relationships is crucial for genealogy. It helps you identify relationships faster and make your tree more accurate. When you match with someone on a DNA test, knowing these terms helps you figure out how far back to look for your shared ancestor. That's a wrap on understanding family connections. I hope this guide helps you untangle your family tree. If you're ready to start your own journey, check out my new series, Your First Steps in Black Genealogy. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on uncovering your African American roots. Thanks for watching. Peace and love.